Hey guys, this is Frumpytheclown's 1.7 Mage single target DPS. I just wanted to make this video here to show everybody what I'm doing to maximize my DPS, as well as, just help out any Mage players who want the help, and also so that this way I don't get as many questions. To start off, I'll show you my build. I'm doing the standard 30 Warlock, 36 Pyro. Notice in this build I do actually have a point for Firestorm because it's an AoE that rivals the Stormcaller spec, and it's a single button. Stormcaller, you have to build up to it. This is just one button for almost as much DPS, and not to mention it's so versatile as you can switch from single target to AoE in an instant, so I always put it there. It's nice. To start off, other than the build, I would like to notice that I do have one macro for this. It's not required, and it's just personal preference for me. Let me show you that right quick. Okay, here's the macro. It's pretty simple: countdown, flame bolt, fireball. That's order of importance of what you need to keep up. So countdown will do, after 8 seconds, countdown will do more DPS than flame bolt and fireball. So I prioritize countdown. Then, because flame bolt is an instant cast, when you parse out the amount of time it takes to cast a fireball, it actually falls short of the flame bolt. So when I'm casting a fireball, it takes 2 seconds for me to cast it. During those 2 seconds, I'm actually losing DPS on my meter. So flame bolt, because it's an instant cast, it's about 1800 to 2k damage right there. So it actually is higher when parsed out than the fireball. And of course, there's always, finally, the fireball, which fireball spam most builds have. When I start on my rotation, I always use the fireball. I hit it twice, so I go countdown, flame bolt. That's how I always start, because that will get my countdown already started to do my 2k damage, and adds combust, as well as increases my spell power by 10%. So starting off, that is the best 2 buttons you can click. Now from here it can vary. You can go straight into heat wave. For me personally, I always go fireball, flame bolt, and then I activate internalized charge, dark touch, searing vitality. You're always going to want to keep up searing vitality and dark touch as best you can. Just refresh them when they get off the boss mob or whatever, and just constantly keep refreshing them. So entering a fight, countdown, flame bolt, internalized charge, dark touch, searing vitality. From there, I normally just activate heat wave. When I have heat wave going, just notice the timer in the top. It's at 9 seconds. Just for that 15-second period, don't worry about anything else except spamming heat wave. During the middle of it, if you want to, you can always activate internalized charge to get that extra 20% if you notice your charge is full. But once it's done, I normally refresh my DOT, so countdown, flame bolt, seeing vitality, dark touch. Then, while my dots and everything are up, I'll just keep spamming my macro for fireball. And I notice that my charge is up, so I activate internalized charge. Also, when you put up searing vitality and dark touch, always activate internalized charge, because the damage they do is 20% more per tick. So even if you decide to turn off internalized charge, they will still be ticking for 20% more damage, which that'll add to a nice DPS increase. Other than that, it's pretty much just the same refresher. So countdown, flame bolt, internalized charge, dark touch, searing vitality. Now notice how I have opportunity procs. If that happens before I hit heat wave, I'll always just cast a cinder burst in there, and I actually waited too late. But so cast a cinder burst if you can. But so cinder burst, I got the flame bolt proc, so I'm hitting those, and then just refresh dots, use my macro. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's fairly simple. As for buffs, I use Glyphs of Power, Nedra's Strength, Flaring Intellect, Fire Armor. I've gotten many questions as to why do you use fire armor rather than the pyromancer's armor. Because as of 1.7, with the new changes they've made, fire armor actually got a nice DPS increase to it, and it actually, when you parse it out, the DPS increase to the fire armor is actually more than it would be for a single Cinder Burst proc. So that's just something to be wary of. So yeah, I see that my heat wave has actually been refreshed, so I'm going to just go over what I do one more time, just in case I haven't been clear. So, starting with my macro, I start with countdown, flame bolt, internalized charge, searing vitality, dark touch, heat wave, fireball spam. Notice I'm watching my my charge go up. When I see it hits up, activate internalized charge, and just keep fireball spam for 3, 2, 1, 0 seconds. Now I'm going to start activating my flame bolt procs. I see I have an opportunity, so I use Cinder Burst, activate Fireball, internalize charge, refresh dots, get countdown back up, and now just spam my macro. So it's really just a spec about making sure you're aware of what's going on, noticing your charge, noticing the dots, seeing what's up, making sure your heat wave is not off cooldown. So yeah, it's a little bit getting used to, and it's really, the spec just comes from experience. So, I hope this has been helpful. Still, any questions, do not hesitate to ask. I'm always here for questions. Actually, before I call the video, I also want to talk about Pillaging Stone. If you can remember to keep Pillaging Stone up, it's wonderful, but especially if you're in progression rage, you're going to be dying so much. Don't worry about trying to get up your Pillaging Stone stacks in the middle of a fight, because you'll actually lose DPS trying to get them up and dying, and trying to get them up again and dying. So just don't worry about those. But I mean, if you're in an expert dungeon, go ahead and put them up on the first mob, and as long as you're not dying, just keep refreshing them with one Pillaging Stone. I've also gotten a couple questions about Life Leech. For right now, don't touch Life Leech. Don't even use it. The only reason it's on my bar is for when 1.8 comes out, which that's a whole nother video entirely. But yeah, so don't worry about Life Leech. Yeah, I think that about does it. Once again, any questions, please contact me in game. I'm always here. Thank you guys, and bye.